Hi everybody, welcome back to this previously dead YouTube channel. Today I'm coming to all of you with one of my New Year resolutions, probably the biggest one for me this year that I would like to focus on. And I wanted to talk about the no buy that I'm trying to do for 2021, what my goals are and why I'm doing this and what my personal rules will be for my no buy year. So first things first, why am I doing this? Basically, I overspent last year. There's no way around it. Every time I was bored or stressed, I would find myself online shopping, at the very minimum browsing, but I almost always would think that a product will help me get over my boredom or will help me get past the stressful period due to the pandemic. In this process, though, my relationship with money changed drastically. I went from someone who is pretty good with money to someone who has no idea of where their finances are. I think being good with money is part of the reason why I gave myself so much leeway, which obviously was a mistake. You should never get too cocky with your budgeting skills or with your saving skills ever, because I learned it the hard way last year. So this year I'd like to control my expenditure in order to actually feel those feelings properly, learn how to cope with those emotions instead of just assuming that a product can fill that void when we all know it can't. It's super short lived. And the funny thing is, normally I'm not someone who likes to spend money on clothes, makeup, skincare. I normally think I have enough. But for some reason last year, not only was I buying things that I liked, I was also buying replacements and backups because I was like, oh, I'm not going to be leaving the house, without thinking about the fact that, yeah, we're not leaving the house. I don't need to buy excessive amounts of makeup or skincare anyway. But what's done is done, and I don't want to beat myself up about it. All I can do now is move forward with a better plan. If any of you are considering a no buy or a low buy for 2021, I highly recommend checking out YouTube channels and Reddit. I'm going to leave down a couple of subreddits and some YouTube channels that I think have helped me immensely to come up with a realistic set of rules for myself. Let's get into the rules that I've set out for myself. My rules apply to a few categories. So, a no buy for makeup, clothes, skincare, and hair products, and candles and teas. So, for all of these, I'm allowed to buy a replacement within a category only if I've run out of all substitutes. For instance, I have 4 or 5 mascaras. Once I'm on my 5th one and it's done with, that's when I can go ahead and buy a new one. So odds are I probably won't need to buy any of these things until the end of the year, except maybe teas, because I do drink a lot of tea. But I don't see myself needing to buy any more clothes, makeup, skincare, or hair products or candles than I already do. I have a huge collection. I wouldn't even call it a collection. I think the word collection sugarcoats what it really is, which is emotional spending, essentially. The only caveat that I'm making for clothes is if something rips and I only have one of those, then I can go ahead and buy something else. For instance, I don't own a pair of black jeans, but I own 2 pairs of blue jeans. So if both rip, then I'll go ahead and buy myself maybe a pair of black jeans. When it comes to other areas of my life, such as entertainment, apart from the current expenses that I have on a regular basis, like Netflix or YouTube Premium and things like that, those stay the same, but I'm not going to be purchasing any more subscriptions. And then when it comes to takeout and coffee, I'm pretty good with not getting takeout more than once a week for the most part anyway. But now that it's a rule, I'm going to try my best to follow it. My rule when it comes to coffee is to go to a drive-thru and get takeout coffee just once a week. And I know that that's not a no buy, but for me, that's where I draw the line when it comes to my low buy for coffee. So everybody has to decide on their own what works for them. For me, in fact, I would say that's still really little, because normally I do like to get coffee out in a drive-thru at least 2 to 3 times a week. I don't know, depends on the weekend. Most weekends, even if I have nothing else to do, I will go out of my way to get yummy coffee from outside. So that's something I need to work on. This also could be a really good opportunity to get my caffeine fix with some tea, since I have so much of it. So far, my rules are pretty general. There's not too many leeways in it. But if any changes do need to be made, I'm going to try to document that in my diary and on video too, just so it helps me keep track. My last rule is to take an inventory of everything within these categories, and maybe even a little bit more. Things like toiletries, like shampoos and conditioners. I do own a lot of those. So this weekend I'm spending time to take stock of everything that I have, and I'm happy to maybe make a video about that too, because I am gathering everything and taking photographs, just so I can understand the gravity of the situation a little bit better. I think a lot of us, me included, are really good at presenting our rooms and washrooms in a way that does not look cluttered, and that just means we're hiding our stash really well. So I do need to take the time out to count every little thing that I can find. And obviously it goes without saying that a project pan is needed for a lot of these items, because that's going to be the best way to find those hidden things that haven't expired yet that should get on my face. Everything that I'm wearing today on my face is part of my project pan, which I'm so happy about, because a lot of these things individually I've used here and there, and then I've thought, oh, it just doesn't work with my skin anymore. But today I'm trying my best to make it work. And moving forward, I'm going to introduce those products to all of you as well, along with my inventory. And my hope is that I can find a community online that helps me stay accountable on this. Overall, I've broken down these big categories of makeup, skincare, hair products further down, and totally I have 21 categories for 2021. And obviously they're all included in my project pan. So if I need to, if I miraculously manage to finish all products from one category, I will obviously be rolling a new one in. I already have a few backups, bonus categories, because I just have that much stuff. It sucks, but I do. My goals are still pretty vague, but I do want to finish one product at least from the following categories: foundation, lip care, sunscreen, one candle at least, one concealer, one mascara, one hair mask, one face mask, all my tea, and one hairspray. So that's 10 categories. So that's about half. So for all of these categories, about half of them, I would like to finish one product each for sure. And the other 11, I just have to make sure and get the most use out of them. But I doubt that I'll be finishing a lot of those products. For instance, things like blush, it's on my list, but it's so tough to hit pan on a blush. One blush that's always around that I do not pick up. So the whole point is to try and use everything that I have before I go out to buy something new. And the punitive portion for this will be that for each of these 10 categories, if I'm not able to meet my goal, I'm gonna have to be on a no buy next year too. Otherwise, I can switch over to a good low buy system. So we'll see. I know that that might not be the best way to motivate myself, but for me, fear does work, and like the fear of missing out will work really well for someone like me. So I'm just gonna give that a shot. I should have mentioned this as a part of my why, but I was considering a low buy or a no buy towards the last 2 weeks of December, and then on the 1st of Jan I broke my low buy, no buy. At this point I was super vague about it. I didn't know what exactly I was going to do, but I thought that would work, you know, just like a resolution without any real rules involved. And I broke and already placed an order on the 1st of Jan. That's when I realized that I needed to really scale back everything down onto paper and write it all down. So if there's one recommendation that I can give on day 3 of the year to all of you, is to note this down somewhere if you really want to do this. I know this is not an advice video at all. I'm going to be learning this whole year. Feel free to not take my advice, but my suggestion would be to write this down, whether it's on your phone or your diary, whatever works for you, because it does help to have a reminder that's physical to look at if you ever start to forget when a new sale goes on, or if this really cool new product comes out that you really want, which I know is inevitably gonna happen to me. So yeah, that's about it. Those are my thoughts for now. If I do realize I've missed out on any rules or I need to introduce any new ones, I'll be sure to bring those up. Hope you're all doing well and you had a good start to the new year. Stay safe. I hope you're having a great day or night wherever in the world you are, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.